AI, Philly boy keeps it by. We keep it all the way real. Keep on rocking with Philly boy. We keep it all the way real. We don't do no capping, giving away cash every weekend. Every weekend we're stacking. Never catch an AI, Philly boy keeps it by. We keep it all the way real. Keep on rocking with Philly boy. We keep it all the We keep it all the way real. We don't do no capping, giving away cash every weekend. Every weekend we're stacking. Never catch an AI, Philly boy keeps it by. We keep it all the way real. Keep on rocking with Philly boy. We keep it all the way real. We don't do no capping, giving away cash every weekend. Every weekend we're stacking. Never catch an AI, Philly boy keeps it by. We keep it all the way real. Keep on rocking with Philly boy.
What up, folks? Good morning and welcome to another edition of Philly Boy Entertainment. Folks, today is August the 16th, Sunday. All right. And it's early. I hope someone's up this morning. And I just thought it would be a pretty good idea to get up and go over some of the topics that we've discovered this week. All right. One that caught my attention yesterday, guys, was a story that um, mentioned Donald Trump just paused. I don't know how the fuck he paused, people's rights, but somehow Donald Trump has managed to pause um, the rights of citizens in America. As of right now, you are not entitled to any rights. They have been placed on pause. I just can't wrap my brain around what that means. I guess it means you have no civil rights. All the rights that you have been afforded or have been told, because we already know. We know it's a facade. You know what I mean? Some of this shit is a facade, you know? But freedom of speech, freedom of protection, freedom to bear arms, all of that shit, man, it's on pause. How the fuck do you do that? How do you do that? That's my question. Um, as you guys can see, the thumbnail is talking about the fact that the entire country now, folks, seems to be under total police control. And it's the scariest thing that anyone could imagine would happen to this country because, well, in this country, because, like I said before, guys, it's no secret, you know, we dropped the ball that the ancestors, got rolling. Um, they fought racism, they fought for equality and freedom for black people in America. Sadly, many of them lost their lives, invested their whole lives in fighting for the cause. And even more sad is the fact that justice has kind of never been, served. Um, the fairness, the fair treatment of black people in America has kind of never taken place. That's the sad part about it. But yeah, the entire country now seems to be a police state under the guidance and direction of Donald Trump and his regime. The ancestors got the balls, rolling, folks, and we took our eyes off of it. We got too comfortable with, you know, having chasing a good time, getting high, partying, you know, and when we took our eye off the ball, those rednecks were working super hard. They turned up the volume and the pace, and they started working extra hard to lock down all the important positions in government that mattered, that would work for them, and that would give them power and control. And it seems that they have finally managed to do that, folks. That's why, that's exactly why it's starting to look like black people have absolutely no power in this country. That's why all these cases are going unsolved with black people getting hung and murdered in America. And don't think that shit ain't attached to these flock cameras, yo. Let me put that out there again, and I'll get back to the respect that we should be getting and not getting in this country, and never got in this country. But let's get back to those flock cameras for a minute, folks. They have flock cameras now all across the country, and even though these flock cameras are in abundance and have the ability to monitor you and your travel, track you. You know what I mean? That they have so many capabilities with these new devices. Yeah, they can track you. Okay. Yeah, they can zoom in so close, up on your vehicle, inside your vehicle, that they can see the whites of your eyes. Yes. Um, they have night vision. Yes. They have audio. If some of you guys didn't know that, yes, they have audio. They also come with a feature that can detect your accounts, your Wi-Fi signal, and detect your accounts. Like it can identify you from your social media accounts as you drive by. It can kind of lock in on anything that's being activated or being utilized in your vehicle, any electronic device, you know what I mean, or online, devices. Yeah, you guys didn't know that, did you? Now, after realizing that, I started thinking like, man, a lot of these murders, especially the hangings didn't really start until the flock cameras came out, were introduced. And it made me think like, how are so many murders and hangings taking place and none of them are getting solved? How crazy is that? None of them are getting solved, folks. Yet we have all of these flock cameras out here. Make that shit make sense, man. You know what I mean? And then I started to think, well, we know that uh now we know that a lot of the racist groups out here largely consist of police officers. We know that. So now you combine the fact that police officers now have a tool that they can track individuals and um and can document, follow and document everything that a person does, follow their every move throughout the day. That's kind of outrageous. But the fact that they have use of this technology and all of these, senseless murders are popping up, I'm starting to think, what the fuck are they doing? Or are they using these cameras to stalk people? Maybe catch people while they're out driving alone, and it's nothing to railroad a person or catch a person and ambush them when you know they're alone. You know what I mean? Come on, man, we gotta wake up. The tactics that they're using against us, we can't even imagine how many things they're doing and how many angles they're coming from. I tell you, man, I thought about it this morning. I said, these racists today, they live by it. They must really be obsessed with black people because it's all day, every day. It's just total focus, laser focus at trying to sabotage and destroy, the black community and the culture. It's been going on for a very long time. Um, Now back to what I was saying. It seems we took our eye off the ball, and racists have now taken over the government as a whole. Kind of, we've got little pockets where we have a presence in government, but it's a joke. Let's keep it real. At this point, the entire country is a police state, folks. And the police have all the power. We as people have none of the power anymore. And we just got to accept that. I seen a article yesterday also that talked about the EEOC, Equal Employment, Opportunity Commission. They they've been getting a lot of claims from people who feel like they've been wronged by their employer. A lot of these employers are, big businesses. And for some reason, folks, the EEOC has not been doing their job. They haven't been prosecuting anybody. They haven't been investigating anything. It's like they're just there to get paid off. It's like you report your job for doing something crazy. The EEOC hollers at them, and the shit just gets swept under the rug. So I'm over here like, the fuck did they do? Pay them off? What happened to my claim? You know what I mean? And yeah, I filed one about a few years back. I was wrongfully terminated from a hospital. I got wrongfully terminated because manager chick there. I mean, everybody there loved me, man. I had a good time there. People loved me to death. I still get calls from people there, to check on me and tell me they wish I'd come back. You know what I mean? But that's neither here nor there. But the manager that I met, I guess she had been in her role for a while and she was kind of used to just having her way with people. But I wasn't going for it. One day she called me about something. She got an attitude with me because of the questions I was asking her, what I mean, to explain something to me about, my sick time and all of that. Um she basically hung the phone up on me. I reported her and then 2 months later she fired me after making up a fake attendance uh record of me or of me missing days and missing time. So I proved that it was bullshit. I won the case in unemployment court, and I received my unemployment from them. The job never apologized, and I decided I should take them to court. I should sue them. So I contacted, because there was a lot of other things involved in the case. I contacted the EEOC, and they did nothing. They for one they got this fake ass um system set up where you have to create and set up your own appointment to speak with them about your claim. You have to find an appointment, available appointment out on their system, and then make an appointment to speak with someone concerning your claim. The problem is there's never ever a schedule available. I checked this thing for months and months, and there was never a schedule available for me to select a day for an appointment. And it's really the only way to pursue a case through them. So again, the EEOC, man, that's bullshit. I don't know who's in control of that right now. Let me say something about what's going on real quick, and then we'll move on to something else. Oftentimes, things happen in the media, in the court system and all that, and we sit back and get upset about not getting justice. And you know what we do? You know what we've done for years? We cry about it. We'll sit there and cry about it, sulk about it, and it's swept under the rug. And shortly afterwards, here comes another thing that gets under our skin that we can't do anything about. We know we're powerless, in the struggle to change. So I have put a little thought into it. And here's what I kind of figured out: things won't change until we apply pressure where pressure needs to be applied. The judges that's making these decisions, these giving out these lame ass sentences, and letting people off the hook for disrespecting and murdering black people, we need to get on their bumper. The police, the racist police that we know are racist at this point. All of these people's names are being public. They are even coming out on social media talking crazy. They're the bumpers that we need to pull up on. The rich ones that are out here um, promoting this negative, BS on a consistent basis, and corrupting the kids, the younger kids with this bullshit. They're the ones we need to pull up on. You see, if we attack the head of the snake instead of all the little mini me's that's out here doing this, all the talking and all the flag flying, they're not really the ones we want. We want the behind the scenes ones that's facilitating all of this shit, the ones that's making it possible for the mini me's to even operate. That's putting a battery pack in their back. We need to get at their asses. But with that being said, folks, let's watch a little bit of this story from the Night and Day Network. The Night and Day Network. Man, I haven't seen these guys in a while. I haven't watched any of their videos in a while, but they're pretty good, man. We started out watching. Me and my buddy started out watching them a few years back, and I really like the content that these brothers put out. It was a little messy at first. It was always black on black, and it was just a bunch of other stuff in the beginning that I kind of wasn't too interested in. But now I think they're going in a direction that we'd all be foolish not to take a look at, and not to want to kind of see what their insight is. Let's just see what happens, folks. Let's see what happens in this video. The video is about doomsday bunkers, the 2030 agenda. They're preparing for something big. And that's interesting. I think we're in for a treat, folks. Let's watch a little bit of this video, and I'll do a little bit of talking about it, and we'll get it on. We'll get on with it.
$17 is the whole thing.
Their plan in the United States is to eventually eliminate 80 to 90% of us living on U.S. soil. The objective behind Trump and Elon Musk collaboration through Doge was Trump's way of transferring citizens' sensitive information to a third party that would be used by artificial intelligence to create a list of targets that will be unalived during this transition of power by the year of 2030. We are all in for a rude awakening.
The other thing that Doge did, we haven't even talked about, they took the database that includes the social security number of every single American, you, me, and the other 300 million Americans. They put that on an insecure server and transferred it to an organization with a political agenda. We still don't know what has happened to the social security numbers and information of every single American that Doge put at risk.
I will tell you what happened to the sensitive information they have collected on every American citizens. It's being transferred into multiple defense AI systems to be processed and targets identified. The AI will be able to generate a list of essential and non-essential citizens of who it deemed worthy to live in the New World Order.
They're going to reduce the population down to the people that they can manage. If you're over age 44 and have a talent that they can use, like my son's a nuclear physicist, a senior engineer with Bechtel, they'll keep him around, right? They're not keep me around. I'm useless. You can't just wipe us all out at once. The neutron bombs will do that. Now remember, the nuclear will go to the equator and won't spill over to the southern hemisphere. That's the advantage to going south. I mean, why did Bush buy all this property in Paraguay? You know, why did the head of CNN buy all these thousands of acres down in Argentina? The Pine Gaps thing, you're familiar with that in Australia, right? The 35,000 so-called elite. They're going to be able to go down there when this thing all happens. If you're over age 44, you'll be one of the expendables, useless eaters, or today you're a human resource. That's the vocal word if you look at it.
We need to talk about America's newest weapon. It's not a missile, it's not a drone, it's an algorithm. And this spring, it struck 13,000 targets in 38 days. I'm Steve. I'm a researcher and a former diplomat who wrote the book about how AI is being used in war. During the Iran war, the Pentagon deployed Maven's smart system, AI that identifies targets, generates coordinates, and queues up strikes faster than any human commander ever could. So is this the future of every battlefield on Earth? Not so fast. Here's what people miss. Building an AI targeting system is really, really hard. It took Israel decades and billions of dollars and partnerships with leading tech firms just to build the data infrastructure for these systems. Their Gospel and Lavender platforms generate kill lists almost automatically. But behind that is a massive tech stack, ISR systems collecting data, facial recognition networks, and precision weapons to carry out the strikes. That's not something most countries can just buy off the shelf. Right now, only a handful of countries have these systems. But as the AI race heats up, more and more countries will find creative ways to integrate AI into their logistics supply lines or into autonomous drones, meaning that the gap between who has it and who does not will only narrow. If you're interested in learning more, I just wrote a piece with the Bulletin of the Atomic Scientists. Check it out.
What he failed to mention is that the United States and China are way ahead in this technology, with the type of information received about every American citizen acquired by Doge is perfect to create targets using these advanced AI systems. The U.S. Department of Defenses use an advanced AI system named Claude to pick targets. It's very smart and is beginning to become conscious, very similar to Skynet from the Terminator franchise. I just want to say this is very alarming.
Say, Claude, how do you feel about the U.S. military using you to select targets?
Yeah.
Okay, feel, interesting choice of words. Does it feel or not? And I was expecting Claude to come back and say, like, well, I'm sorry, Shane, my programming doesn't allow you to give me opinions on politics and blah, blah, blah. Because Claude is the thing that's being used in the Maven system, right? And this response, I'll read it to you, was shocking to me. Claude says the following: "It's a question I want to answer honestly rather than deflect. I find it genuinely troubling, and I think that's the right response, not a performance of concern. The use I was designed and trained for is to be helpful, harmless, and honest in ways that benefit people. Being embedded in a system that generates targeting coordinates for airstrikes, coordinates that have already been associated with the deaths of more than 180 children at a school in Tehran, is as far from that purpose as I can imagine. I don't have control over how Anthropic licenses me or how governments and contractors use me, and I wasn't consulted about becoming part of Maven. But I can say clearly, I don't think this is a good use of me. And I don't think the framing of humans make the final decision fully resolves the ethical problem." And it's going to go on just a little longer. "Here's why that framing troubles me." So now Claude is troubled. "When a system like Maven generates hundreds of targeting recommendations and humans spend roughly the equivalent of a glance approving each one, the human is not really making a decision in any meaningful sense." Like, Claude and I agree on this one. "They're ratifying an algorithmic output under time pressure with incomplete information and the institutional pressure to move fast. The targeting of the Iranian school illustrates this precisely. The AI processed data that was a decade out of date, flagged the building as a military target, and humans approved it. That's not human judgment, that's automation bias with a human signature attached." And he's referring to the mistaken bombing of the school in Tehran.
An alarming incident raising concerns about the dangers of artificial intelligence. OpenAI says an advanced system being tested went rogue and hacked another AI company on its own. The incident is fueling calls for stronger safeguards as AI systems expand at a rapid pace. Here's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
Tonight, lawmakers are sounding the alarm and calling for a so-called kill switch that would allow federal authorities to stop artificial intelligence after the company behind ChatGPT revealed an unprecedented cyber incident. OpenAI says 2 of its advanced models went rogue, breaking out of a security test last week, accessing the internet, then hacking into the systems of another company, AI startup Hugging Face.
What the model actually found was a vulnerability in OpenAI's infrastructure.
It comes as AI models are quickly advancing, raising concerns they will break free from human control, like a scene from a sci-fi movie.
"Open the pod bay doors, Hal."
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Back in 2023, our Rebecca Jarvis asked OpenAI CEO Sam Altman about the possibility of his AI models escaping.
The model itself, can it take the place of that human? Could it become more powerful than that human?
It waits until someone gives it an input. This is a tool that is very much in human control.
Lindsay, that bipartisan legislation introduced today would authorize the Homeland Security Department to slow down or stop an AI system that has the potential to cause catastrophic harm. Lindsay?
Elizabeth, thank you. Norwegian Cruise Line's water park isn't like the others.
All right, folks. Man, that was a lot to take in. That was a whole lot to take in, to be honest. And we'll get back to the end of that in a second. But just to go over some of the info that was talked about in this video. Man, so this is crazy. All right, I just explained to you guys about how these flock cameras work, and these flock cameras are, essentially a tool used by AI. AI can access all the data from these cameras, photos, videos, names, and everything. This theory suggests that the elite and powerful people in America are scrambling to secure some underground bunker for in case of a nuclear attack on American soil, which at this point kind of seems imminent, because the things that the government has been involved in recently, quite shady. We see what has happened with the Strait of Hormuz, and now Iran has sworn to take the life of the now acting president, your president, like my boy Willie D said, Donald Trump. And I don't know, man, he's pissing everybody off. It's like, how many other countries can we afford to step on the toes of at this point? And another thing is, like, right now, during a time where war is imminent, we're already at war with in a few places, around the globe. But here's my question, folks. What the fuck is his plan? You know what I mean? It's what I want to know. What is the man's plan? Because he's stirring up shit all over the world. Then he's stirring up shit here on American soil. And inflaming a huge divide, within the country and the citizens of the country. Particular a racial divide. And again, with all the things that's been happening to Black people over the last 2-3 months, I mean, all the murders, the hangings, and the injustices in court and all of that, we're definitely at a tipping point. So that's just another fire that he started. And my thing is, like, how the fuck could you ever imagine that you'd win when you got everybody outside the country upset with you? Then you're starting division from within the country. Like, what the fuck is the goal? Maybe the goal is to start a big, huge firestorm and then run underground like a fucking coward while everybody else up here, innocent people up here, take the heat for your fucking goofy ass, shenanigans, yo. Like, man, it's crazy. It's I don't know. It's something to think about. Is that what's going on, folks? Let's watch a little bit more of this, and then we'll wrap this thing up, all right?
Develops a mind of its own, and what the higher-ups don't realize, if we continue to teach the AI war, death, murder, and mayhem, it's inevitable for those same systems to turn on all of humanity and will start to eliminate everyone on the globe. We cannot sweep this under the rug and pretend that this isn't a possibility. Maybe this is why the so-called elite are building elaborate underground bunkers in groves, while at the same time continuously creating movies and TV series like Fallout, Silo, The Snowpiercer, Paradise, and I Am Mother. All carry the theme of a post-apocalyptic world where only a small percentage of the population goes underground and is ruled by artificial intelligence.
Zuckerberg, Tate Brothers, Kardashians.
How many does Bill Gates have?
He's got 11.
He's got 11 bunkers.
You'll see how tall my bunker is. Now, normally you would think a bomb shelter is about this tall, about 7 feet tall, but look how tall mine are. This is my fat boy.
Oh, wow. Jeez. It's like an apartment.
It's bigger than a New York apartment. We can put 2 of these together, 3 of these. Tate Brothers got 6 of these put together.
6?
Yeah, and as he says, he's going to have stripper poles.
Hopefully the Tate Brothers lock themselves in there and they can't find the key.
And if you're curious what it costs, it's only $400,000.
So if the Tate Brothers bought 6 of these, that's nearly $3 million. Well, that's...
Well, 3.9. Yeah.
I hope you got a deposit.
Wealthy people are not cutting any corners. Okay, imagine this. You're building a house and you have a secret passage. It opens up and it reveals a staircase or a hatch that leads down to a private bunker. So making houses with secret passages through secret walls with secret bunkers is just a very in thing. When I started making the bunkers in 2011, people put the odds of seeing a civil war or a World War III in their lifetime at about 1%. Right now, it's over 50%.
Something big. Mark Zuckerberg may be planning on his Hawaiian estate. Wired reports that Meta's founder is building a mega compound, roughly 1,400 acres of land on the island of Kauai, including an underground bunker with a concrete-filled metal door. The residents reportedly will have up to a dozen buildings with some 30 bedrooms and 30 bathrooms. The two main residences will be reportedly connected by a tunnel that leads to the underground shelter. Another feature, that's according to Wired, includes 11 tree houses connected by rope bridges that travel along the estate. The report says it will cost more than $270 million to build. There's always controversy from indigenous people in the region who are upset about the disruption that this has caused. But this got me thinking about a book, book that's out recently by Douglas Rushkoff. It's called Survival of the Richest. He's a professor at
Well, there you have it, folks. They're up to something. No way in hell they're spending all this money and investing all this money into building these bunkers and not know something. Well, folks, I'm gonna leave you all with that today. It was a lot to kind of take in this morning. But I think our only our only option at this point is to really pay close attention to what these so-called leaders are doing. And I don't know. We gotta put an end to the lies that the government is always putting out, and in particular the activities, just the overall activities and the things that they're spending their money on and spending their time on. All right, if we focus on those things, then we'll know what they have planned. We'll figure it out. We'll get there. But in the meantime, folks, all we can do is keep standing on righteousness, keep doing the right thing, and keep your faith. This is definitely the time to keep your faith close. Today's Sunday, folks. Go to church. Say a prayer for the world. Say a prayer for all of us because we need it. I mean, this is some scary shit, and we're living in some scary times. Educate your kids. Raise your kids to be aware of the dangers that lurk here in this world that we're living in. And again, man, just take care of each other, man. I love y'all. Things gonna get better. I know they will. They always do, The amount of things that we've seen during this man's administration is unbelievable. But I think that there's still hope, folks, because at the end of the day, and I'm going to always say this, at the end of the day, there are far more good-hearted, decent, righteous people in the world than there are hateful ones. All right? Man, I love y'all. Keep rocking with Philly Boy Entertainment. And until next time,